Good evening, guys. Welcome to Sim Racing Bible. Let's go. We're super excited this evening. You guys seem to be excited too on the chat. You're already up and running, ready for this evening of sim racing action here at Sim Racing Bible. We're going to be checking out some of the latest mods for Live for Speed. So it's been a little while since we've done this, so therefore we've got a few new mods we're going to be trying out this evening, and I'm looking forward to it because there's some really serious ones, there's some less serious ones, and there's some fun stuff thrown in there as well, so I'm super excited for that. So yeah, let's get into it. This is going to be fun. Welcome to Yasso T Berg, welcome to Igor K, good to see you. Reflexor Z's in here, Mikhail's in as well, good to see you guys. Hope you're all doing well. Let's get over into the sim now and we will check out what we're going to be looking at first up this evening. So here we go. Let's get myself in here as well. I hope you're all doing well, guys. It's a weekend. I hope you all had a good week and everything's going well for you. So that's the main thing. So here we go then. So we'll jump into hot lapping, and Yasso's here, so he's going to be able to see this. So first up, I was going to get my gloves on. We're going to be testing out this, which is the Fraud Spec 2. So this is basically a Spec Racer Ford. Shh, don't say the actual name. Obviously, it's a fraud. So this is the Spec Racer Ford essentially, which can be found in iRacing as well. I think there may be a mod for Assetto Corsa. Not 100% sure on that one, but it's in Live for Speed now. We've got the Skippy. Now we have the Spec Racer Ford as well. So Yasso's been very kind and given me kind of a bit of a preview of this mod. It's not public yet, so it will be soon, I'm sure. But he's given me a chance to give this a drive, so I'm going to give this a drive first up this evening for you all. So here we go. Let's we'll start off. Yeah, where are we? At Blackwood, aren't we? Yeah, that's fine. Let's jump in here and drive this car. So here we go then. Spec Racer Ford. If you've driven this car in iRacing, you may well be familiar with the fact that on the outside it looks like it should be a really fun car to drive and offer some good close racing with some slipstreaming and things, but it's a bit of a quirky car. It doesn't tend to handle the way you expect it to handle. It's very tail happy at times. It's not highly powerful. It's not a Can-Am car or anything like that, but it just has a really lively rear end. So it'd be interesting to see what it's like in Live for Speed. So first of all, we'll jump into that. It's not H-pattern gearbox. I'm pretty sure it's sequential. So here we go. Let's drive this thing. Away we go. Welcome, Turbo. How are you doing? So Mikhail says, too bad the E-Challenger Evo, formerly E-Gen 3 inspired, is yet to be released. Maybe in the next episode. Yep, could well be. Alright, down to turn 1 here at Blackwood. Let's get ourselves a bit of extra force feedback on here because I got it turned down a touch. So we're on the free roam layout, so we can go wherever we want. So let's see how we get on. Tigvosia, welcome along as well. Turbo says top 10 dangerous underage bikers on Earth. Oh dear, I'm gonna put that one that way. Evening, Funky. Good to see you. Hope you're well. Down towards the first big braking zone. Reaching for the H-pattern. You think it's an H-pattern car, but it isn't. It's on a sequential box, so gotta get used to that. Hey, Kevin. Welcome along. Okay, well, first things first. I was about to say car seems pretty neutral in the way it handles. It's not been causing any of the dramas you could expect to find driving the iRacing version, but then let's see what happens when we really start pushing on, because as in the iRacing version, it's easy enough to drive at a relatively easy pace, but it's just when you start pushing on that little bit harder, that's when things start to come a little unstuck, shall we say. So let's see what happens when we really push on with this little Spec Racer Ford. Right, down to turn 1 again then. Hit the brakes, probably about 100 board. Hard on the brakes. Pushing the brick wall of my Acertec Invicta pedals. And through the corner with relatively no dramas whatsoever. A little bit of a oversteering moment into the middle part of that chicane there. But it is recoverable. So that's always nice. No major dramas so far, so that's good. Because it's one of those cars, I see it in iRacing, and I'm like, you know what, I really would love to drive that. And I took it out for a drive on iRacing the other day, around Alton Park. It's a circuit I know well, and I just couldn't get on with it. It's just so weird. So this one, handling-wise, feels pretty good. Obviously, I've got the force feedback turned up a little bit more now, so I can feel what's going on underneath me. It does vary between cars, so you have to kind of adjust it as you go. There's the grass on the outside. Oh, I'll tell you what, my lower back has been acting up just recently, and every time I push my left foot into the brake pedal, my back is like, really? So this could be a rather uncomfortable evening on my half, but we'll push through regardless. So that's all good. Alright. So Frankie said, our game engine could be a little bit high. That's right. Because lift speed tends to be a little bit quieter, doesn't it? So let's turn that up so you guys can hear that a bit more now. 15.6 is on. Let's turn that up to 9. That should be enough, I hope. Let's go again. Go down a few gears here just so we know where to get moving. Right. Thanks for that, Funky. Forgot to turn that up because I know it was a little quiet last time, so hopefully that's a bit better now. If it's too loud, please tell me and I'll turn it back down again. Right. So Kevin says, hey Tick Vosha, hey, how you doing? So Kevin says, I know nothing about this sim. What would you say the attraction is compared to other popular sims? Okay, so this particular sim, it's been around since 2002, maybe even 2001, I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure it's 202. So it's been around for years. And for me, part of the attraction is the nostalgia of it all. But the other part of the attraction is the fact that this has a really nice tyre model to it. And it has a very natural feel, so when you throw it into a corner, you really do feel that the tyres load up quite nicely on the tarmac, and you get a good feeling of slip angles. So especially road tyres, which, you know, you've got tyre deflection in lift for speed, so I know that's a thing in R-Factor 2, and a couple of other sims as well have got tyre deflection going on now, but lift for speed's had tyre deflection for absolutely years, so. And it's one of the things that just makes it feel really natural, and it's just an enjoyable sim to drive. Obviously it's older, so it runs so easily on most modern PCs these days, but it really is, yeah, it's good fun. And with the added mods, you know, you've got so many different options of different content to drive, and it's just so easy to download and get involved with them. So yeah, I love Live for Speed, and I know there's a very active community who are still using it to this day and making it what it is, so it's all good. So Mikhail's also saying tyre physics superior to any other sim. Yep, so we mentioned tyre physics, they are very, very good indeed. And Tick Roche is saying ease of modding, so it's the latest attraction. No need to have your friends download a specific mod to play together, just join a server and pick a mod from the list. Yeah, exactly, it's so easy to just download a new mod. It's, yeah, definitely the easiest of all. Okay, so thoughts on the Spec Racer Fraud? Yeah, I like it. I think it's good, yeah, so. Yeah, it's not as untamable as the iRacing version. But then you do get a really nice feeling on the road as well, which does help, so it's good. And so Turbo says, and we are expecting a new update in the near 5 years, I hope. Yeah, they are working on multi-threading, which is going to change the way things work and also provide a little bit of extra accuracy in terms of lap timing to an extra, I think it's 1,000th of a second, I think it is. So yeah, it's all good. It's a very small team in fact, but really, really good. So that's the Spec Racer Fraud. Let's have a quick watch of that from the outside so you can see what it looks like on track. It's a cool little car, isn't it? It's quite a nice shape, a nice little flowing shape with that kind of I don't know, like a 1970s look to it with the cut-off rear end, and yeah, I think it's just nice looking. Obviously, the rear end's a little bit different because it's quite open there, and there's no obvious connection between the tires and the drive shaft. But I'm sure that's all work in progress, so it's all good. Latvian Video's here. Welcome, Latvian Video. Good to see you. So Dick Roger says, Turbo, you will own an E38 by the time nighttime comes to live. Well, you never know. We might get there. Nathan, welcome, Nathan. Good to see you. It says, I'm new to LFS and I love it. Brilliant. That's great to hear. I'm glad that you're loving Live for Speed. I certainly am, and I think with the modding, obviously, it's breathed brand new life into the whole thing. But yeah, love it. Right, so that's the first one on the board for this evening. So let's go right to the very top and see what we have to play with. As you can see, there's already a bit of variety going on here. So we'll start off up here. Let's go with this, the HRD MK8, which is based around certain Bavarian motor company 8 series by the looks of things. The big old 8 series BM. It's quite a nice looking model. Let's see how this drives. So Latvian, I would enjoy it more if my wheel wasn't screwed up. Oh no, that's not good. You're back on the old keyboard and mouse, so you Latvian Video. Ooh. We have some V8 sounds going on with this big M8. Ooh, got a bit more weight on the wheel as well. Ooh. Into turn 1. Traction control kicking in as well. Let's just get through the chicane here. So Kevin says, thanks Michael. Yep. So I think after you get over the eye candy of more modern sims, the feel of physics becomes more important. Yeah, so obviously this doesn't have the same visual appeal perhaps as some of the more modern photo-realistic graphics. But they're not that... You know, they're not particularly... It's not stopping. Let's start again. They're not offensive, are they? The graphics look natural. You know, the texturing's nice, and for a 2002 game, it looks good. I think it looks fine. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Physics does make a big difference. So Latvian Video says the pot seems to be dying. Ordered a new pot for it. So there's potentiometer. So is that on the pedal side of things that you're struggling with? Yeah, so it can use the wheel. It can use the wheel for the pedals. Okay. That's a shame. Hopefully the new potentiometer comes through and does the job for you. Let's just turn that down ever so slightly. What else have we got here? So My Sim Racer, welcome My Sim Racer. This is great sim in VR too. Only sim to implement mirrors properly. Again, it's not something I have an awful lot of experience in with the world of VR, but I believe you can run it in VR, and it does run quite well. Right, get on the brakes super early this time. Let's try and get a stop for this one. Slow down. Traction control interfering considerably through that one, but it kept us in line, even with a little bit of tail out action as we head towards the tire barriers on the inside, and then we're going to roll. Brilliant. Alright, let's go to the pits a second. I want to try this without traction control, because that is obviously as the real car in real world situations would use, but we don't need that. So let's put this as a new setup, say new. Oops, cancel. I pushed the wrong button. New setup. No. TC. No, it's fine. That's not what it says, but it's all good. So brakes and TC, we have ABS on. Where's TC? There we go. Let's try that again. It says wheel spin galore. Alright. Hey Norman, welcome along. Greetings, how's the Bermuda Islands today? Right. It's a little bit more feisty now. Alright, let's get back onto track. So Mikhail says LFS is a racing simulator, not a screenshot generator. Yes, absolutely. A lot more sims out there tend to get used for their screenshot capabilities more so than their actual racing or driving in any format or one or another. This is why TC is obviously on, because most of the time is spent trying to bring it back from an oversteery situation. It's rather a good drift car though, it works in that regard. Throw the weight around, set it up for this corner, balance with it on the throttle. Very nice. And again, it's just a little too much. That's pretty fun actually. Yeah, not a bad mod. Good fun. Right, let's move on. So we have the... We've got so many to get through, honestly. We could be here all night, but let's just pick out a few of these. We've got the Silly 13 tunes, which is supposedly an S13 Silvia. So we have drift, stock, stance, and tint variations of this particular car. I'm going to go with the stock version in this beautiful kind of, I suppose it's a green, I guess, but let's go drive that one. Hey, Vauxhall, welcome along. Good to see you. This is Yusuf says the graphics are comparable to iRacing. Yeah, well, you know, you can definitely see there's not too much really difference there. Yeah, I know what you mean. The iRacing graphics have improved over the years, so they are perhaps a little bit higher up than the speed. But as I said, the actual natural look of the thing is pretty impressive. Yeah, some old version of iRacing on minimum graphics, yeah, potentially. But oh, so your wheel has a patent, very cheap wheel from 2005. Okay. Doesn't have stuff like an optical sensor. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Here we go then. Let's see what this stock S13 is like. It's quite loose actually. Seems to have a fair amount of power, so it's obviously where the silly tunes side of things comes in. So Norman says, I've yet to get my hands dirty with low fuel motorsport. I'm eager to get on the platform though. Yeah, I've not joined up either, so you're not the only one, Norman. 5 gears only on this car. Flat out. Right. Heel and toe down into the right-hander. Yeah, I've heard good things about low fuel motorsport, and obviously it's very popular at the moment with not only ACC but also R-Factor 2. And it's obviously like a licensing system where you have license you earn and then reputation type thing, similar to an iRacing or a ranked server issue on race room. So yeah, I mean it's good, and it provides another outlet for people to do some online racing in a safe and controlled manner without the occasional enthusiastic sim racer who doesn't potentially behave to the same kind of driving standards as some people would expect them to. But yeah, it gives you a kind of a good structured sim racing opportunity for most people to get involved with, and it's been doing some good things with R-Factor 2 recently, obviously with the addition there, and a lot of people have been swapping over to R-Factor 2 as a result of it. So Take Pictures is rather a work in progress mod, that. Yeah, it's all good though, isn't it? Still try them out, they're good fun. So Norman also says, I haven't had an opportunity to use my rig setup as I'm space constrained. Okay, you haven't got the space to set it up properly. So anyway, we've been ripping around in this in this S13 for a little bit. It's quite nice, actually. It's quite nicely balanced. Even on the stock setting, it's, yeah, quite nice to drive, that. Okay, let's carry on. So we've got a Calibra here, a Calibra V6, obviously based around a Vauxhall Calibra. You can see where the reference points are. This is obviously, you know, you get the general shape of it. It's quite basic looking, but very wedge-shaped, the old Calibra. We'll give it a drive anyway, just to see how it goes. So Reflexa says, it's cool to see new players in LFS nowadays. Hope you're enjoying it. Yeah, absolutely. I think there's been a few people join up with, hopefully by seeing coverage of it on YouTube or wherever, but you know, it's always good to see new people joining Live for Speed, and still after all these years. Ooh, some nice nice V6 sounds coming from this Calibra. No steering weight whatsoever. Let's put that up. Still no steering weight. It's almost no force feedback whatsoever. So Frankie said that's a real long-winded way. Long-winded of calling some drivers troll. Well, I didn't want to come straight out with that, but yeah, you know, there's some people out there who just dive bomb you for fun, let's say, or intentionally wreck people because they find that more enjoyable than racing cleanly, or whatever it may be. Oof, sounds good. But yeah, absolutely no force feedback on this one, but sounds are very good as well. Right, let's come out of there a moment. Oh, Norman, I'm sorry. I think Nightbot must have caught you on something. Maybe it was some emojis or some symbols and things. Sometimes it kind of picks that up as spam. So apologies for that, Norman. Right, next one. I'm kind of curious about this one. This is obviously based on the XR Turbo or the XR GTR. But there's a rather large detail in the fact that the roof is missing. There's a seat sticking out the rear window and the steering wheel, because this one, I believe, is a rather small car. Let's put the driver in. Oh, I love it. Oh, we got the different body shells too. Look at this. Oh, that's awesome. I love that. I'm going to take the FZR out, I think. Can we change colours, actually? Oh, look at that beauty. Right, there we go. Let's give this a drive. And we'll take this one let's go to West Hill. We'll do, is it the national one that we want? Yeah, we'll do the national one, but we'll do it as open, so we'll start there. Okay. Frank says, I'm currently suffering from long wind too. For very different reasons, I'm sure, Frank. No, I have more details. I wait up. PM. Oh no. Okay, here we go. So what's this thing like then? Is this sequential? Oh, it's electric. Okay, it's like a little electric toy car. Except a rather quick electric toy car. Here we go then. Let's check out the handling of this little beast. Understeer is the predominant factor in this particular car. Oops. It's me not paying attention to where the road's going and just zoning out completely. Let's try again. Okay, you can catch a bit of a slide. It's the thing with electric cars, they're not always the easiest of things to control when they get sideways. Yeah, so definitely a fair amount of understeer going on, but that was not too bad through the quicker stuff there. I think it might just be mostly in the slower corners, but we'll try again. We're maxed out on the motor. Good brakes. Very good brakes. Obviously very little weight in this car. It's mostly just the driver. Let's go this way. It's pretty twitchy, but it's not bad actually. This could be quite a fun little car to have a race with. It's quite stable as well. There's no kind of falling over issues going on as you get with some of the toy cars on Live for Speed. So it's quite a capable thing. that was quite nice out of there. We've broken free of the kart track. Let's go and explore the perimeter roads here at West Hill. Ooh, let's go down this way. That was a last minute decision, otherwise we're going to end up in the office. Almost sent myself to the office just by crashing into that wall then. Right. Well, that's pretty cool. I do like that. So Kejwan, welcome Kejwan, says, are you driving the new Merc 2022? 2023 is on there. It's definitely got the right wheels, isn't it? They're not 18-inch, obviously, but they got the they got the wheel covers on them. That's really cool. I love fun things like that. They're just nuts, aren't they? But they're great. Right, let's move on. What have we got? We've got the Audi R7, so a big off-road SUV. Let's try this thing out. And obviously with this we might have to where should we go with this one? We have to take it to Fern Bay, I think, and we might just have to try and find a bit of off-roading experience for this thing. In fact, we're going to start off with it right now because we've got we've got a layout loaded. This is what we tried last time we came to Fern Bay, which was the Rallycross circuit. Let's turn the force down ever so slightly. Through the chicane here. Let's get out of this layout. Funky says, Bill found a way to tip it anyway. Yeah, you know me. I'll always find a way. Oh no, I can't get out. Okay, let's change the layout, aren't we? Let's go back. Clear that. There we go. Now we can actually use the layout properly. The lovely sound with this order. The V8 sounds very nice. Down to this banked corner. So the thing with these modern SUVs, I mean, they're more of a statement, aren't they, rather than a practical off-roading vehicle. But you know, you got a very luxurious interior and big, powerful engines, but then you're just sitting way off the ground. So, big test is how good is it off-road, and we'll find ourselves a bit of a off-road section to test it out on shortly when we get around here. Right, somewhere along here we can cut through to the right, and then we can find ourselves some Rallycross action. Let's go through here. We're going to go around this way. We're going to do the proper direction of the Rallycross layout. Oh yeah, Tim, yeah, that was your layout. Yeah, that's the one we used when we tried the Ford, the E2 Wheeler RX, I believe. Whoa! What were you saying, Funky? Always find a way of rolling it somehow. Let's turn around here. Don't think I even turned in that aggressively either. That was just mass taking over, I think. Right, now we're onto the Rallycross circuit. Onto the rough stuff, back onto the tarmac. to the hairpin. On the handbrake. Oh, yeah. Not exactly how it would normally work in real life. Obviously, with these things, would probably have an electric handbrake, so not the easiest things to do handbrake turns with because you can't disengage it fast enough. But there we go, kick it down a gear. Let's go this way, and I think there's a jump this way, so let's see how it handles that. Over the curbs. Well, it's not exactly a jump, but I made it with one. Excellent rollover abilities, and yeah, there we go. But the interior is quite nicely modelled. It's slightly dented now from where it was. Nice texturing on the roof there. You get a closer look at that. When you roll it over, you get a closer look at the roof because it caves in on you. But that was all part of the test to see what the texturing's like on the interior of the car. And yeah, thumbs up for that. Looks good. Right. Yeah, not bad that. I mean, it makes some good sounds, and yeah, if you like your SUVs, then good mod for you. All right. And now for something completely different. Let's go for the Porsche 118 GT3, which is no way inclined modelled on a Porsche 911 GT3 Cup car. It's you can see it. It looks a little squashed in that angle. It looks quite short, doesn't it? You think the rear end might stick out a little bit further, but it does look quite small and a bit squashed on the front, but that's okay. It's okay. It looks pretty cool though. It's a good variation on it, and obviously it's not licensed, but it's you know, it looks convincing enough. So let's try this out. There we go. So Dick Rocha says, "How long have you been familiar with Live for Speed, Phil?" I've been playing Live for Speed for many years actually. Probably would have been my first experience of it. Would have been. It probably would have been back in 2000 and yeah, probably 2005, 2006ish, that kind of era. So I wasn't around from the very beginning of Live for Speed, but I was around fairly early on. And because I've had a couple of international moves in my lifetime, Live for Speed's been one of those ones which I've been able to take with me much more easily than the rest of them, because it would run on a laptop and I could use the keyboard or a mouse, and it was still accessible. So yeah, Live for Speed's been a big part of my sim racing past in one way or another. So plenty of grip. And there is plenty of grip. I just went through that corner too fast. Let's go again, but this time with a car in one piece. Those stabilizers on. This is on the Audi that we just drove. Yeah, needs them with my driving. All right. What else have we got going on? So Kezron says that Audi looks faster than NASCAR. It did go well in the straight line. So this Porsche, or Porchetta, sounds quite good. It's quite a deep tone to it. And it's got an element of transmission wiring going on there as well. Interior looks good. I mean, it's obviously very carbon fibre full, as it would be in real life. Steering wheel looks good. It's got its own unique steering wheel. One thing I have noticed is the rev lights on the dash are stuck on the two green lights. They don't move when you get anywhere near the rev limiter, so you can't rely on that for your shifting points. But and obviously there's the other lap timer, which I don't know whether that has worked because we haven't crossed the line essentially to start a lap time, for example. But that's on the full course as well. We're not on a specific circuit, so that won't show up on there anyway. So on an actual proper timed lap circuit, that might show up a bit better. Whoop. Whee, steady. There we go. So this is user said, this just watched a Eurus performance review. Of course it was marketing fluff, but it seemed fun rallycrossing. Yeah. And there's a lot of those, isn't there? Oh, hang on. that dash does move. I'm just not shifting. I'm shifting too early, that's basically what it is. So I apologise. I take that all back. The dash does work. You just need to give it a bit more in each gear so you're in the right rev range. Oh, there we go. That's working beautifully now that I know where I need to need to keep my foot planted for longer. Just testing the suspension of the GT3 car there. It's a very important part of a GT3 car is just how well it can land. It is, I suppose, if you're taking it to the Nordschleife. But yeah, so plenty of cornering grip available on this car. But there's also an element of rear slippage which can catch you out if you're not paying too much attention. There's some big cornering speeds available. So Mikhail says, someone didn't know how to adjust the wheelbase length, so squish the model instead. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's for this one, yeah. We will make it fit, regardless of which way it goes. It's the make, do, and carry on kind of mentality that we love. And for the Audi moment on my roof. Yep. So Frankie says, Audi squished the Quattro Sport, so why not Porsche? Yeah, that's true. Absolutely. Do the fast chicane. That's quite a nice mod, actually. It's not a bad car at all. This is that bit of this particular part of the circuit on Fern Bay, which I never knew existed. I never knew there was this loop here. I've never driven it before. Or just come straight through here. There we go. Right, let's go see what else we can find. That's cool. I quite like that. Nice car to drive. What other liveries has he got? So we've got the variations on the Porsche theme, and then just some solid colour options. Excuse me. Right. So one of the things that seems to become quite popular here on Live for Speed is this build cross idea of it's like it's like folk race type cars, which are very rough and ready and just bare shells, and you just go out and just thrash them around on a rallycross track. And this is one of those such build cross cars with its rough and ready appearance. It's obviously modelled on a Volvo estate. Yeah, let's give this a drive just out of curiosity here. Let's take this to... I'm going to take this to Blackwood because I'm going to do some laps around the rallycross circuit here, I think. So Kezran says, are you driving Aston Martin? No, it was... I think it's supposed to be a Porsche, but that's okay. So Kezran says, is this me or is the game getting more realistic? It's getting more variety, which gives more freedom for people to create cars and play with them in terms of developing their mods and making them even better and more realistic. So it's always been pretty realistic anyway, to be honest, Live for Speed. It's just given a wider scope of cars. So yeah, it's good. Yeah, more content. Physics is superior for decades, says Mikhail. Yep, absolutely. So Funky says, excuse my typos, not wearing my glasses and halfway through a bottle of wine. Okay, we'll forgive you, Funky. The big tachometer on the middle of the dash here. Okay, I was not expecting that amount of revs from this thing. Oh, it's wallowy. So we're still in second gear, we haven't changed it from second yet. I want to see where the actual rev limit is. Will we actually make it before we have to brake for turn 1? That's the big question. There it is, 10,500 RPM from our Volvo estate. Down to turn 1. Let's get it turned in. Bit of body roll. Very softly sprung. which is very good for the off-road sections such as this. Soaks up all the bumps very nicely. Up over the crest into the big sweeping left-hander. Apply more lock. Apply lock the other way. Fine. There we go. Right. So there's quite a lot of these cars. So obviously I think there's some Trabants and there's some other cars which have received the Billcross treatment, which is obviously designed to be some kind of series, which I haven't seen if there's anything set up for them. I'm sure there is. But that could be a heap of fun. But the car handles quite nicely. Just need to change it down to second gear because that's where it's happiest. So Frankie says Volvo 340 really needs some dogs in the boot. Yeah. I'm not quite sure they would enjoy this particular ride. So the rallycrossing element of Lip for Speed has always been quite a fun side of things, and it's quite fun with this particular car as well, because it's quite low speed, it's low powered really, essentially, but it's softly sprung and it just moves around in the corners quite predictably and quite nicely, so you can really just hang the tail out and just have a lot of fun just chucking it around the track. Just playing with the weight transfer into some of these corners to kind of set the car up a little bit so you can get it rotated nice and early, get the nose pointed in, and then try and carry the speed through the corner as best as possible without washing too much of it off by going too sideways like that. I love it, actually. That's really fun. That's really fun. I like that a lot. My escape key's sticking or something. It's doing that. Let's try that again. Right, there we go. All right. Okay, so let's go on to the next one here. We've got this, which is a some form of pump track bike, I think, or stunt bike. But bikes on Lip for Speed are obviously a thing, and they work very well with the motorbike side of things. So I've been curious to see how this works as a pedal type bike. Our driver's off the top of the screen. We won't go on the rallycross track because I think that'll probably be too much for it. So we'll go to Rockingham and we'll just open it up and we'll see what we can do. So Kezran says, what is this eBay wheel? On the Billcross car, yeah, it's the standard chromo steering wheel you get on Lip for Speed. Did I not like that? Oh, there we go. So Frankie says, very much my era, and I'm sure they were sold with 4 dogs. Never seen one without them. Okay, so let's go. Let's put this on the external view so you can see what's going on here. Ooh. No pedal action going on. We have tried a bike before now which has had pedal action, but only when you wiggle the steering wheel. So this one is, we'll put this down as an e-bike. So, ooh, what's the lean angle like on this? Ooh. It's not too bad actually. You can get away with some pretty sharp cornering. Riding along at a comfortable 25 miles an hour. Comfortable because he's not having to put any work in to go that kind of speed. So that's good. Let's try and really tighten the steering up here now. Nope. Just falls through the tarmac. Okay. Well, I think if you had a suitable circuit or layout for... Hello? Why can't I change... What? I'm stuck. Ah, yeah. What's going on? There we go. Some weird stuff happening. There we go. Let's get out of it. Okay. Let's go on and see what else we can find then. So obviously there's a variety of BMWs on the list of cars. So we have that. Obviously there's a E46 M3 type car there. Truck seems to be a bit of a thing which have come into Live for Speed recently. There's been lots of different trucks and vans. So let's we'll drive this BM. We'll give it a quick rip. It looks quite nice. The model is nice. It's hard to get a proper looking BMW shape in some modding cases because they're quite smooth in some places. So getting the kind of curves right is not always easy. And this one looks pretty good. You can tell there's some smoothing potentially needed on that rear arch there. Front one looks nice. But yeah, that's cool. Let's give it a quick drive around Rockingham. H pattern gearbox on this one. Go through the old first chicane here at Rockingham. Westall karting is good for the bicycle. Yes, I think some of the smaller kart circuits would definitely suit the slower speed vehicles such as the bike. So you have that 6-cylinder sound as you would expect to find in the M3. That is of course pre E92 M3, which went all V8 on us. And then also, as you'd expect, quite a nicely balanced car. You do get the oversteer, but it's easily controllable. There we go. Down to second gear for Tarzan hairpin. Just throw it around the outside of that loop. Nico R, welcome. Good to see you. You're a fan of this particular E46. A little bit of TC kicking in there as well. Actually, just towards the end of that slide, it was just interfering ever so slightly, but not too much, so that it actually completely constricts your fun. You can still get it sideways and enjoy that. Ooh, in fact, we're going sideways even on the banking. Whoa! Save that. Get on the brakes. Into the Dean hairpin. There we go. Definitely a little bit more kicking in there. So more bodywork smoothing will be needed soon, I'm sure, says Funky. Yeah, I think it's potentially a in-progress thing. It's not easy to do. Obviously, I can't sit here and say, oh yeah, your model's rubbish because you haven't put it together, because I have no experience in modelling at all. I have also no experience in choosing a direction to go on the track, obviously. So yeah, so I can't sit here and say, this is how you do it, or this is what should be done, because I can't do it myself. But yeah, I'm sure it's all in hand. And full credit to the designer of this mod for putting it out there and doing the time to actually create it and to put it out there for us to drive. So, and it's cooked the rear tyres, obviously, which is why it's getting away from us. But yeah, no, it drives nicely. That's the main thing. It's got an E46 style interior as well. I mean, you can tell they've taken pictures of an E46 interior and just kind of used those as textures along the dashboard and obviously the wheel as well, but that's how an E46 interior does look, so that's good. Right, let's carry on then. We'll gloss over the truck for the meantime. What on earth has happened to this poor R32 Skyline? I think I saw this one on the Discord. It's I believe it's a famous YouTuber's car, which has seen a lot of action by the looks of things. The rear bumper's missing, front lights have been chopped away, and some LED light pod put on there by the looks of things. Looks a bit of a state, but I'm pretty sure it must be meant like that for a reason. The city car. I have seen these around quite a bit in terms of, you know, online and stuff. I don't know where they've suddenly sprung up from, but they are an unusual looking thing. We've got a Rallycross setup for it as well, with some knobbly tyres on it. Right, let's go with a... Oh, I've got the red one's quite smart. Let's go with that. Where should we take this one? If it's a city car, we should probably take it to the city, shouldn't we? Let's go to South City. Well, oops. Let's go back here a second. We're on the van delivery. I'll show you that one because you didn't get to see this one. This was the first attempt. So last time we did a Liver Speed mods stream, we did some challenges with various mods, and one of them was a van challenge, trying to test the capabilities of a van. And we did a test around West Hill, but this was the original idea. So let's. So this is electric as well. Out of the pit lane. No brakes. Keep it on the inside of that there. There's some roadworks to avoid. Someone left some bales in the middle of the road. Careless. Right, there we go. Woo! Over the speed bumps. Just about managed to handle that. Through the chicane. This is testing our weaving abilities of this particular vehicle. And it's a little bit of a hold on hope. Again, avoiding some roadworks on the side of the road there. Ooh. Stop! Stop! Luckily, it's small enough to fit through that gap. So we'll go back through here and go this way. It's a Beam MG vibe, it says. So, is this something... Oh, yeah, because I know they have the pigeon and stuff on there. I don't know if I've seen this. Oh, no, maybe I have. That's probably where I've seen it. There's our tyres we should have been picking up. That's in that small thingy. Okay. That makes sense. So it's got a steering yoke rather than a steering wheel. Oop, and that's the wall. Luckily, we've got some big bumpers on this thing, so it will handle all those kind of scrapes against the wall quite happily. So what kind of speed are we getting up to here? We're up to 80 miles per hour, or is it kilometers? Not quite sure what it's geared up, but it's going past that anyway. Its speed's building all the time. Pigeon younger brother. Ah, okay, right. Okay, gotcha. Right. On the lack of brakes. Get it stopped. Luckily we did. Yeah, definite body roll going on. Let's see if we can get itself in a bit of a pickle with the roll as it gets further and further out of control. Crunch. I mean, good force feedback through it. As far as models are concerned, yeah, it's I guess it's a good model for what it's designed to be. So yeah, just another unique little vehicle in Live for Speed. Okay, so I think we've driven the Skoda in the past. Now, this intrigues me. There's a few interesting points that we can pick out about this particular bus. We've done buses, excuse me, in the past. So what are the interesting things that intrigue me about this? So first of all, there's no passenger seats inside. It's the first clue. We have a race seat for where the driver sits. We have some Bridgestone Potenza tyres on it. The rear tyre seems to have what looks like a roulette wheel in it, and rather wide and large at the same time. We have some knacker ducts in the very back here for airflow going through the window. Not your regular bus feature. And then there's the words Top Fuel Bus written down the side. I'm not quite sure those words have ever been combined. But I assume this is for drag racing, so let's give that a go. We've engaged drag setup, so let's go to the autocross drag strip. I'll have to do this in single player mode rather than hot lapping, otherwise it will start it halfway down. Let's clear our grid of buses from our last race that we did. Let's go back up here. Let's find our top fuel bus. There we go. Load the drag setup. And drag strip. Okay, so let's try this out. And let's see what the capabilities are of this drag racing bus. So here we go. So Nico says, rear wheel so big that passenger could power it like hamsters. First gear is engaged. I'm not going to worry too much about the lights. Let's just... oh, I just spotted that you won't be able to see this because it's underneath my camera, but on the left-hand side there is a fire extinguisher mounted to the dash. It's good to know. Right, here we go then. Let's do a launch here. Ready? Build the revs and then dump the clutch. Whoa, that took off. Oh, that's quick. And there's not much in the way of brakes. Right, let's do a proper run this time, and we'll go for a time, shall we? Let's wait for the Christmas tree to count down, and then we'll be on our way. Ah, too early. Got a red light on that one. Let's try again. Try to guess the reaction time for the green light coming on. This is definitely quicker than your average number 72 bus into town. That's a quarter mile in 8 seconds. 8.19 seconds for quarter mile, which is mightily impressive. We'll use that wall at the end to stop it. It works quite well. Oh, the wonders of modding. I like the exhaust. You can see the 8 exhausts sticking out the rear there of the bus. Oh my word! I can't tell whether that's actually just one tire at the back, or whether it's a couple of tires. You just can't tell if it goes all the way across in the middle. It's got super tires there. What's the difference in that? Is that just grippy? Let's try it. Whoops. I'm aware that's probably the wrong way. Let's start that again. So we've got super tyre setup on. Let's see what the difference is. It can be an 8.19. Look at the big, fat tyre marks down the start line there. There's a slower getaway. Yeah, 9.6. Definitely didn't have the launch off the line as the drag racing setup did. We'll try the short gear version as well. Oops. Let's try this one. See if the short gearing works. Dark lines veering off to the right. Wheel spin, pretty much to half track. And again, it's a 9:45. So yeah, definitely the drag racing mode is the one to go for. What's going on with my keyboard? It's just having issues at the moment. Right. Okay, so that's the drag racing bus, the top fuel bus, which is quite a unique piece of kit. So let's scroll down, see what else we can find on our journey this evening. So we've got some drift cars on this particular road by the looks of things. We have another 911 lookalike here, which is a road car variant of the 911. Looks quite cool. Let's see what colour options we have available. A livered version as well. Orange one's quite nice. We've got stock, we've got race, so that has a little bit of a spoiler on there, and obviously some slick tyres by the looks of things, and lower suspension. We have the track day variant, which has the treaded tyres but still has the rear spoiler, and then we have a drift version as well. So let's try the track day version of this car, I reckon. And let's take this one. I haven't been to Aston yet, so we'll go there. Give this a try. Neozix says, hello, welcome, good to see you. Hope you're well. Has this got autocross on? It does. Let's clear that. We don't want that. Otherwise, we'll be on the soapbox layout. Oh, of course, because we went into race mode. We now get jump starts every time we go into hot lap. But that's okay. Rear end coming round as we get into that corner. Again, we have traction control kicking in there. Sounds good though. I'm sure this is a turbo version of it as well. I think it might be. Just hear a faint hiss. That was a late decision to try and go for the chicane version, and you can obviously tell that that was the case because we didn't make it through there quite as intended. Again, so the traction control is just recognising that the rear end's coming out and it's not happy with that, so it kicks in, and then you don't have any power to control that oversteer or drive through it. So it just kind of almost stops you in your tracks. Into this nice flowing section of circuit here, which sweeps from right to left. The whole way through there, pretty much just rear end just sliding ever so slightly, nothing major. It's quite nice to drive. Click O, says Nico. I shall do that. That must be for traction control, hopefully. Funky says it's a 911, the TC will never be happy. It's my own fault for going in there too enthusiastically. Okay, so hopefully, with O selected, we now have our TC off, so we'll give that a try. Thanks for that, Nico. So these shortcuts, I still learn these shortcuts. I don't quite have them down, so thank you for that. Very useful to know. Quite a turn of pace going on as we come up here. Right. Down to 4th for the sweeping right-hander. So we have a very racing style steering wheel, which has been taken from one of the GTR cars, or the standard Need for Speed cars. It's a quick chicane, but not quite that quick. Managed to bring it back just about. It's quite nice, actually. Let's try to get into this section here. Now we have control over the rear end. Yeah, nicely balanced. Let's turn it into here without trying to go sideways. There's a little bit of oversteer on the entry, and a lot of oversteer on the exit. Obviously we've significantly overheated our rear tyres as well, which will be contributing to that uncontrollable rear end, but that's all good. Yeah, quite nice, that one. Nice mod. Right, what else we got? Okay, some more vans going on here as well. There's another one of the Billcross cars. Right, we've got a couple of Rallycross cars I want to show you this evening. Tim's put together some more Rallycross cars. We drove the Ford Wheeler E2 a little while ago, but there's a couple more that he's put out there which we want to try out. So the first one is this. This is the Lemon Ara Coupe, which is based on a Citroen Zara, of course. So we have the WRC style rear wing. We have the Rallycross style front end with the lights taken out, and obviously the roll cage and things in there as well. And this will be four-wheel drive. So here we go. It's got good colour options. We'll have to go with the Citroen Red, I think, for this one. And we'll again take it to a Rallycross circuit because that's natural habitat. Let's give this a go. Right. So Nico says Shift S for quick garage, so not to have to click escape and aim garage. Ah, good suggestion. Shall try and use that. Okay, so sequential gearbox, obviously, being a Rallycross car of this nature, up over the crest quite happily. Being a Rallycross supercar, it's also rather good on the acceleration front, so plenty of squirt off the corner. And use the four-wheel drive system to help with traction off as well. You can just tell there's a few little turbo-y sounds going on as well when you come off throttle. Whoop. Bucking and diving over the jumps there. Whoops. Got a bit of a twitch going through the fast chicane there. Okay, here we go. Are we actually still on race mode, is it? Is that why we're saying it's being finished? But that's okay. We'll carry on driving. I do love that. You can just really set the car up as you head towards the jump there, just to kind of get the car ready to go left as soon as you land. Plenty of wheel work to put in with these cars, so when you're going sideways through the corners, it's not just a simple turn in and hold it there. You've got to do a little bit of movement just to constantly make those fine adjustments to your trajectory as you work with the bumps as well, which is very important. So News6 says, would be cool if you can try the Faith GTS. I would certainly try that out. I'll go and find it shortly. But this is driving very nicely, actually. It's quite a short wheelbase as well, so it's very responsive in its handling. It's quite agile and easy to rotate into a corner. Just lighted up off the corner. Get off the grass. I know you like being off-road, but it doesn't mean you have to be permanently off the road. Uh-oh. That's a wall. That's pretty fun. I do love a good Rallycross car anyway, because that's one of my favourite disciplines, and that's a nice car to drive, that. So, good job, Tim. Right. I've done it again anyway, I've gone back this way. Let's come out of race mode for the starters. We don't need to be in race mode. Here we go. Let's go back to hot lapping. Oops. So the other one that I need to show you, it's going to be a bit further down the list here, but it's this one. Now this one is significant because most of the mods you get in Live for Speed are fictional, as you can tell by some of the names, so Fraud, for example. So there's a subject around licensing. However, this one is named the Saab 93 T16 4x4, and there's for a very good reason for that. And we also have a Saab logo on the bonnet. That's because Tim has managed to bring in the first modded car which is officially licensed by Saab. How cool is that? And obviously Saab itself is no longer, unfortunately, a brand, I believe. It's I think it went into, well, it basically closed down, so it's no longer making cars. So not any current licensing to worry about in terms of it's a brand new car and it's the current model or brand or whatever. So it is a little bit historical, but at the same time it's still a licensed mod. So full props to Tim for managing to secure that. That's really cool. And yeah, the Saab 93 Rallycross car, it's an unusual choice of car, but it's still one that featured in the world of Rallycross for many, many years. So it's cool to have this particular car in-game. You can see it's got some camber on the front end there, or on the rear as well, nicely leaning in. A couple of twin-element rear wing. Got the radiators in the back there as well. But yeah, it's a neat-looking thing. So let's go give this a drive and compare it with the Citroen. So what have we got then? So you guys are saying Shift P for garage, actually. Shift S is to spectate. Okay. I should try Shift P and see if we can do that next time. So this time we're getting a running start at the lap. So this one is a longer wheelbase than the Lemon, which is basically a Citroen Zara. So should have a slightly different feel to it driving through the corners. Should be potentially a little bit slower to react than the shorter wheelbase Citroen. But let's see. Again, it's good on the bumps. It's absorbing the bumps quite happily. And in there. So there's a little bit more inherent understeer going on with this car. So obviously that can be adjusted with some setup, but you can obviously still throw it into a corner and get the rear end out to help with cornering, as we've used the walls to help us with our own cornering. Let's go again, so we don't have any damage going on which is hindering our performance. Quickly up through to 5th gear. Try not to collect that wall again. It definitely feels a bit more wallery compared to the Lemon, but that's okay. It's just a different car, a different dynamic altogether. It's still nice to drive though, and you can throw it around. It will still do as you ask it to, so you can set it up for corners just as you would with any other rallycross car. Oops. Going the wrong way there. Just set it up so you can kind of get off the corner a little bit straighter. That's where your exit speed from the corners is going to be higher, so... Oh, it's that wall again. Oh no, damaged it. But that's cool. I mean, it's a fun car to drive, and it's yeah. So it's a different driving dynamic compared to the Citroen or the Lemon. But but yeah, it's good, and it's great to have a modded car which has an official license as well. So it's all as you'd expect. So obviously, other sims out there which have modding capabilities, you do get a car with the correct name and things. It's not licensed, but it's, you know, people submit them, and there's no issues around the naming side of things. But Live for Speed are very careful about what kind of content comes into the sim, so that's why it's all very much unlicensed and with alternate names. But this one is allowed to be so, which is quite an achievement, and it's really good to see. So yeah, good work going on there. And it's good to have some variety of rallycross cars. This is like a retro rallycross car, which we love. So okay, let's go and find some other cars / vehicles to test this evening. I'm going to test this F40 or the Stallion 200. I think that's going to be next on our list. Look at this. Right. Let's not go to a rallycross track. That would be disastrous. Where should we go with this one? Let's take this one to... Let's go back to West Hill. Take a drive around there. Good evening, Martin. Welcome along. Good to see you. Hope you're well. All right. So Ferrari F40. This is a. I'm going to look at this model again because that looks really good, doesn't it? You got the star wheels as you'd expect to find on this particular car. The big scoops down the side. All the proportions seem to be about right. And obviously there's the telltale big rear wing over the top and the 3 exhausts in the middle. Yeah, that's a really cool looking car. You see some F40s which are kit cars which have been used on other platform cars, so like an MR2 for example is a very popular car for kit cars users, and some of the proportions are not quite right, but that looks really good. So here we go. This has got a bit of a rumble to it. Now this should be an H-pattern gearbox, which it is. It's got that kind of raspy V8 sound to it. There's a V8 engine in this. It's turbocharged, obviously. So you get all the right noises coming from the engine department on this one. And one of the features, I think, of the F40 was the fact that there was a fair bit of turbo lag as well. So it's not like a modern turbocharged supercar where all the power is delivered pretty much instantly. With the F40, it did take a little bit of time to spool up and then give you that power that you were looking for. And when it did kick in, sometimes it can catch you a little bit by surprise and you end up being in the wrong place at the wrong time and getting a whole load of boost and then going sideways very quickly. Down to this tight section here. Let's see how it handles to the corners. Whoa, steady. Sounds great, doesn't it? It sounds really good. So Martin says, Phil, what is your fave sim? The age-old question of what's my favourite thing to drive, and it's a difficult one, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people find that the case. It's a difficult subject because so many sims out there have so many things going for them or against them. So there's good points for so many sims out there. I think currently one of my favourite sims is AMS2. I really enjoy driving that and the variety of cars you get in there, and obviously there's the quality of the visuals, there's the driving dynamics, the force feedback is really nice in there as well. So I really enjoy that. But I do really, actually genuinely, I do really enjoy Live for Speed, which is why we've been doing a few more videos on that recently. It's just so fun to jump into. But yeah, I love pretty much all sims, so anything from Live for Speed exactly today, iRacing, R-Factor, R-Factor 2, instead of Corsa. I drive pretty much everything. I don't always drive everything on stream or on on the channel, partly because my PC is a potato and it can't handle some of the more modern stuff. Race Room's another one of my favourites as well. I love Race Room. I don't really have a favourite sim. I have some which I gravitate towards more frequently than others, but I enjoy finding joy in driving all sorts of different sims. So yeah, sorry, that's a very roundabout and on the fence type answer, but it's the genuine honest truth. I don't have a particular favourite. I just enjoy elements of everything. Wow, there's that oversteer boost coming in. Whoop. It's also one of those cars which is quite difficult to control when you actually do get it sideways. It's not always easy to bring it back in line. And as you can see there, it wasn't a foregone conclusion that I was going to catch that car when it went sideways, but somehow we managed to wrestle it back into line. Here we go. Into this section. This is probably one of my favourite parts of the circuit, actually, this. But this actually drives really nicely. I'm quite enjoying this one. Everything kind of works. You have the sounds and the handling and the look of the thing. It's, yeah, it's good. I like that. Excuse me. Right. Hang on. Before we do that, I'm just going to Shift S. No. What was it? It was Shift P. There it is. Got a bit of a cough going on. Right. So your favourite's Race Room at the moment, is it, Martin? Yeah, Race Room is good. I'm looking forward to the trucks coming out on Race Room, which hopefully won't be too much longer, because I think that could be a lot of fun. Alright, okay, let's have a look. What have we got? What else can we find? Again, some more drift style cars going on here. Okay. There's something else I wanted to show you, which I glanced at earlier. This thing is not your average car. In fact, it's an Alligator. I mean, the beauty of Live for Speed is you can literally create anything in this category of mods, and here we have this nicely detailed, in fact, Alligator. He's quite a big chap. Got some very pointy teeth and sharp claws and a big long tail. So let's go take the Alligator for a ride. Here we go. Right. Now, I'm going to switch views here. So let's engage gear in our Alligator. And I want you to see if everything seems normal. Okay? Let's go. I mean, what am I looking at? You turn the steering wheel and his head moves as well. Look at that. Honestly, I think if you saw this coming towards you on the side of a lake, I think you would probably scream and run very fast. It's terrifying. How fast does it go? That's over 100 miles an hour in an Alligator. The Alligator's beached. And it's got a handling of an Alligator as well, so yeah. Hang on a second. Nico, you said it even poops. How do you get it to do that? Oh my word. So Funky says, if someone modded a Great Fusca into for speed, Phil would not drive anything else. Well, I don't think you've seen this actually yet. I'll have to show you. Funky says, I'm not a biology expert, but yeah, something ain't right. Not quite sure how you make it poo, but that's one for another day, I think. Anyway, moving on. If you fancy driving an Alligator in for speed, you can do that, and it's entirely up to you. Oh, poop with the timer. Oh, okay, got you. As we're on the subject of crazy vehicles, let's try this forklift. Here we go. Hopefully this is a little bit more restrained. It's actually quite slow for a forklift. Get some outside view going on here. Oh, the driver's looking particularly relaxed. Look at that. Arm out on the side there, yeah. Chilling around, just looking for his next pallet to pick up. Let's go through this gap here, test the width of our forklift. Let's try again. I don't think I passed my forklift license there. Let's try that. There we go. What we really need is some bales, I suppose, isn't it? I don't know if the I don't know if it works with the forks on the front, whether they actually can flash the lights. Look, I don't know if they can make the forks go up and down though. What's it like going off-road? Let's try that out. Will it make it up this hill? No. Oh, I'm stuck. Okay, next test for the forklift. Of course, if you're a forklift driver, you need... What? My keyboard is really on its last legs. Right, we got the right view now. The main thing that you need as a forklift driver is the ability to turn in very tight spaces. So let's see what the turning circle is like. Oh, look at that. That's very impressive. And you can floor it and do the same thing as well and still get the same turning circle. Very good. What's the stability like? So if you are going along with a load of pallets or whatever, and you have to suddenly remember that you're actually supposed to take it down this particular aisle rather than the next one, what happens? Ooh, very good. So forklift centre of gravities are actually quite low because the batteries are down there or the engine's low. So even though it's quite a tall, thin, narrow thing, you're not going to easily topple over. Obviously that might change if you had a heavy load on the front, but yeah, that works. Okay, let's get back to some cars, shall we? Someone mentioned the Faith GTS. Let's go find that. Let's just do a quick search here. Which one was that one? Ah, yes. Okay, we haven't driven this one before on stream. This is obviously not a Fiat at all. It's not a Fiat Punto. So this is a GTS version, so you can tell it's got a rather large exhaust on there, an open sunroof, and some painted calipers. And looks like an intercooler on the front as well. So it's potentially got some pace involved. What else have we got? We've got open roof with a half cage. We've got a roll cage in the back. Open roof, cage, and no number plates. Then we have a race mode where you close the sunroof, reducing that drag just to make it that little bit quicker around a track. So let's go for the more relaxed but still track-focused version. First gear. You know what? I've never thought that Fiat Puntos were supplied with 5-cylinder engines, but this one has. a turbocharged 5-cylinder engine like a Audi Quattro. I do like the steering wheel with its matching colours, this colour combo with the cage and the calipers. Very nice. Attention to detail. And we got a shift light. Is it on the dash? Yeah, it is. Alongside the boost gauge, I think, by the looks of things. Yeah. So this should be front-wheel drive. Let's see what we can do. Can we get some power understeer when we floor it with the front-wheel drive? It seems to be quite well stuck down. There's the bollard gone. It's quite good, isn't it? It does sound awesome, doesn't it, Martin? It does sound very nice. A nice 5-cylinder rumble to it. The Occasional one says, why is Bible in your username? It's a good question. Well, you know, because I have quite a lot of experience in sim racing, I suppose, and we use the name of Sim Racing Bible because we want to try and be an all-around, I guess, knowledge of sim racing that we're sharing with everybody. Because you can learn things in the Bible, obviously, and the Bible is one of those things which is, I guess, viewed as being a very knowledge-giving solution. I'm also Christian as well, so it does tie in. But yeah, it was more just to be like an authority, I suppose, or a knowledge base on sim racing. That's the idea behind it. But it's a good question. Thanks for asking. Well, this little Faith GTS is actually quite a nice handling car. Actually, it's got a good amount of grip through the corners. You can carry a lot of speed through the corners as well, actually. Didn't check if it's running on slicks. It might be. Oops. That's a bit too quick into that one. It's good on the grass and also the sand as well. Okay, so Matty says, I want to try our latest safety car. Okay. Give that a go. Yeah, my username is Phil205 on Nipper Speed. So yeah, Phil205 if you want to give that a go, and we'll try it out. So Neozix says, engine from a Fiat Stilo Abarth. Okay. Did they have a 5-cylinder? Didn't think they had a 5-cylinder. That's cool though. But yeah, it's a good car. It's good fun, that. Nice looking model as well. I mean, you can definitely tell it's a Punto. But yeah, no, that's cool. Right. What else we got? Let's go wander up here. So we have where are we? Some more BMWs, etc. There's a Billcross version of the Fusca there for you, Funky. That's what I was going to show you. I don't think I've shown you this on stream yet, but there is, well, there was somewhere around here. There's so many mods now. You'd spend ages going through trying to find the one that you want. Where is it now? I remember what it was called, so I can actually. There it is. This is the air-cooled cup car. So this is a VW Beetle. It's obviously race spec tuned. So you've got the engine cover slightly off to help with cooling in the air-cooled engine in the back. But yeah, this little thing. Listen to that. So hey Husam, welcome, good to see you. Test the Koenigsegg Agera, says Emmanuel. Oh, welcome Emmanuel, by the way. Yes, I'll definitely give that a try. It will be fun, okay. I'm not sure if that's ominous or not, but we'll give it a go. Oh yeah, thanks Yasso for putting the username in there. Appreciate that. It sounds really good, this little Beetle. It's got a nice interior as well, nicely done. And it's got the same kind of gearing issue as you get with the Fusca on AMS2, so fourth gear is quite long compared to third gear, so you end up with a bit of a gap between gears, so it's but it handles really nicely, so he says going off track. Let's try and concentrate here, shall we? But yeah, it's really nice, this thing. Matty, yeah, I shall give it a refresh and I'll go have a look for you. Nightbot's having an argument. I remember setting it up with that comment. But this thing is actually really fun to drive. It's kind of similar actually to the Fusca on AMS2. Maybe a little bit less leery at times because obviously it's got proper slicks and things on it and has a bit more grip to it, but it's just that gap from third. You think, oh yeah, I'm going places now, and then all of a sudden, it's down to fourth. But you can still hold it around the corners in a nice kind of slide, like you can with the Fusca in AMS2. So it's good fun, and it's good to have this car in AMS2 in Live for Speed. It's really fun. Right. Let's go give this list a refresh then and see if we can find a safety car. Let's refresh now, go to the top. Which one I'm looking for here actually is to... Can you camp in it? No. So Frankie said, I had to redo my Nordschleife time trial in the Fusca. It took me ages and still only third. Oh no! What, did it reset? Let's give it a refresh again just to see if that's... Just me, I'll come out of there, cancel. And race. Let's go back to the main menu and then we'll load in again and try that. I can't remember, what was the shortcut for a proper refresh of the list? I can't remember what it was. Keshman says it sounds like Charles Leclerc's Fiat. Okay, username circle. So let's try that. Ah, there we go. No! Why is it doing that? Come on. Keyboard is really complaining at me tonight. I did see it. I saw the car, but then because the keyboard's messing around with me, it's... Let's go try something here. One moment. Do a reconnect to my keyboard. That'll help. There we go. Right, that's the one. Let's try again. Right, Mercedes AMG safety car. I think, have we driven a safety car? Oh no, it was an Aston Martin we drove, wasn't it? So this is an AMG GTR safety car. Let's have a look at this one. So we've got the light bar on the top, rear wing on it. It's quite a cool looking model. Right, let's give this a drive and see how this one goes. Oh, look at the interior, nice. It's got the it's the display in the center there with all the detail on it. Very cool. And away we go. So I like the chrome effect on the logo on the steering wheel there. You can see the reflection of the timing gantry go over it, and you can see it reflect in there, which is cool. So we'll do our best burnt Mailander impersonation. But this time we'll try and do as Max Verstappen often asks and go a bit quicker. Sounds good. Down towards the downhill left-hander, hard on the brakes. ABS kicking in ever so slightly. Again, traction control kicking in. Let's turn that off with O. Learning things all the time. There's a reason why they keep traction control on. It's because people like me get hold of it. Can't keep it in the right line. So there we go. So Frankie's first 70 spa though, out of 1. Oh, excellent. Well, that's a good accolade to have on your CV. Quickest at spa 1970s version in the Fusca, even if it is only you on the scoreboards. Whoa. That's pretty cool, I like it. Nice one, Matty. I like the kind of wing noises on the downshift as well, so... Oops, don't crease it. So yeah, so rather than just simply downshifting and having the revs rise to a higher level, you get a nice little bit of a pop in there as well. So let's downshift again. Yeah, it's cool. I like it. Nice little touch. It's nice to drive as well. I mean, obviously you got the TC off and it's a little bit more leery, but it's got a good weight through the steering wheel as well, so you can feel it leaning on the tyres. Too busy reading chat. All of a sudden, there's some grass. Brilliant. Well, we'll park it there. Can't do any more damage to it that way, but yeah, that's nice. I like that, Matty. It's yeah, nicely done. Does drive well. That sounds good. It's a good looking model as well. So yeah, keep up the good work. Maybe get we'll have to do a red color option. If we do a new color, let's make it not pink. Do a red one like this year's current F1 safety car, something like that. So there we go. Beautiful. Very nice. I didn't check actually if the lights work. I know on the Aston you can get the lights to work, but that's cool. No, I like it. Good job. All right. What else have we got? So XPA Blowski car is amazing. You like that one as well? Yeah, absolutely. So who's himself? I got a BMW E92 M3 if you're interested to try. You find on top of the mods list. Go to the top. Oh, this one here. Yep, that looks good too. Carbon roof. Do you remember everybody when there was an actual specific sim title that came out just for the E92 M3? It was people who made Ratio 7 Simbin. They created a BMW M3 game. It was a standalone on its own. I think it was for promotional purposes, but that was quite cool. Right, let's give this a try. Ooh, get the right gear, shall we? Nice sound, and I'm on the right-hand drive here, so I wonder whether this car is built for left-hand drive because the center display there is all reversed, so I wonder whether that's because I'm on right-hand drive rather than left. But that's okay. It's all good. It's cool. It's got the proper display picture on there as well. Whoa. You played that one, did you use them? Yeah. That is cool. I think it was Nürburgring, wasn't it, the game, the track that came with it. Because BMW have got had quite a presence at the Nürburgring. Also one of the last M3s to feature a proper H-pattern gearbox, I believe. Before it all went paddle shift. Yeah, Nürburgring GP, that's it. Again, it's got that nice feel through it, through the wheel, so chucked it into the left-hander there, the rear end came round, and I could instantly feel it through the wheel that it was trying to get away from me, and I could just apply the required opposite lock and pull it back again. A little bit of assistance from the curb there to bring us back in line that time, but all counts. No, that's cool. I like that. And again, we've got the same kind of detailing with the interior, so I like the steering wheel. The steering wheel's nicely done. Got some good texturing on there with the perforated leather and things as well. Yeah, no, I like that. There's so many BMWs. You look through the list of mods here on Live for Speed, and there's so many BMWs on there, and there's subtle differences between each one, but it's fine. There's a lot of love for BMW. Right. What else we got? Let's see what else we can find on here. So I'm curious about this one, actually. This is the Ray Roadster, which is like a Vauxhall VX220 or an Opel Speedster. Designed and built by Lotus, I believe, with some Vauxhall panels on it. You've got the no roof version. And this particular car, for me, in racing games, was always encapsulated by MSR on the Dreamcast. I don't know if everyone's ever played that, Metropolis Street Racer. This was like the cover car for that, and it was really, yeah, it was really quite a good driving game for its day. But yeah, let's give this a try. See how this drives. So here's it says, by the way, if you can try the German wagon, it's not a great car, but it's funny. 1.9 TDI upgraded. Okay. We'll see what we can do. So Casual says, is it me, or are the cars so slidey? There is an element of sliding going on. Part of that is me instigating some slides. But also, I think once you get the cars moving around quite a lot and just throwing them through corners, the tyres do overheat quite a lot. So for example, this car here, I could just drive it through these corners with potentially no major issue. So let's try and drive it sensibly. With minimal steering inputs and just nice and smooth on the steering. But you can drive them reasonably well. I mean, this one doesn't have much in the way of force feedback, but you can still be quite precise with it. Now we're sliding because we're up on the grass. So these little Vauxhalls are actually quite nice handling cars. But also when you get a car on track like this, I mean, it's quite deceiving because obviously most of the time we're used to driving cars similar to this on a public road where you don't really end up pushing on that quickly. And with a race circuit like this, obviously it's a lot wider and you're just driving them at absolute ridiculous speeds, so therefore you are asking a lot more of the tyres than you would normally do in a road going situation. So they do tend to move around a little bit more when you're pushing them on and trying to drive it like a track day car or a race car, whatever it may be. But of course, if you go over the limit, you can always have a moment like that and just slide around all over the place. So yeah, I think an element of the slidiness that you're seeing is probably self-inflicted, let's say. But that's cool. I think putting in a bit more force feedback on there just to get an understanding of what's going on underneath would be useful. Right, the Koenigsegg, that's one of the ones that people wanted me to try, wasn't it? So let's give this a go. That's a cool looking model. It's the Koenigsegg is a fun car. It's just ridiculously fast in a straight line, of course, but it's I love the doors on them with the double helix doors which kind of open and then drop over. But yeah, I think they're quite a nice looking car. So let's try this. There's also H pattern as well, I believe. So Funky says, did Vauxhall sell any? I remember seeing them in showrooms, but never seen one on the road. I've seen a couple on the road, actually. I think there's been one... I've seen one around me a couple of times, actually. But I have seen a couple of them on the road. they did sell. Oh, so this one isn't H-pattern. Maybe the original Koenigsegg was, but this one is sequential. Just engage the rocket boosters and see how quick we end up going before we get to turn 1. 140 mile an hour. I'm having to hit on the brakes. There we go. Yeah, so Opel sold it. I'm not sure how well it sold in Europe. It might have sold a bit better. Partly because the weather in Europe's a bit nicer and people might be more convinced to get the open top version or whatever so they could enjoy the sunshine, which you don't really see an awful lot of here in the UK. Oops. Yeah, they're not hugely common on the roads, but you certainly recognise them when you see one. You're like, oh yeah, it's one of those Vauxhalls or Opels. Alright, so what's this thing like? It's obviously very fast in a straight line. The brakes, like, hit the brakes hard. Yep, they slow down quite happily. Which you need in a car this quick because it's so easy to get zoned in with just how quickly you're going and then forget that you need to hit the brakes at some point. So Funky says, most people drive tractors up here in rural Scotland, so it makes sense. Not the most common of ploughing vehicles, the Vauxhall VX220, so not much use up that way. So again, we have traction control. Not anymore. Just turn it off. So I'll probably die at first corner. Man, 190 miles an hour. That's not stopping. It wasn't the traction that was the issue. It was the sudden stop. That's still kicking in. That's doesn't look like I can turn it off for some reason. That's okay. To try and make sure I get on the brakes earlier. But the interior looks quite nice. In terms of modelling anyway, it's got fairly similar textures all the way through. The actual... too busy looking at the interior model and not where I'm going. But yeah. It's a very expensive crash in the Koenigsegg. But yeah, that's quite cool. I like that. Right. I think we'll probably squeeze in a few more. Let's see what else we can find. I'm not going to drive the road barrier because I don't think it's going to go anywhere. Road barriers are very good at putting a halt to things. We better drive the thumbnail car because we haven't driven that yet. So this is the Lilia X GTR, which is a fictional car, but it's got elements of the old Lotus GT1 on the rear end. You can see there a little bit of the Quaif on the front end, I can tell. Have you ever seen the Quaif GT car? Nice roof vent on there as well. It's a cool looking car. It's kind of GT1-esque, and I believe it's been made to compete with the likes of the XF GTR or the other GTR spec cars, which are standard cars in Need for Speed. So yeah, let's give this a try. Listen to that for a moment. That sounds pretty good. Sounds almost flat plane crank V8 sound. And away we go. Revving up to 9,000 RPM. Some popping and banging on the overruns as we get off the throttle. So big slicks on this car as well, so it should be plenty of cornering grip, which there definitely seems to be. I like how you can see the little vent grate on the right hand side there from the behind the front wheel. It's quite a nice thing to see out of the corner of your eye, just below the mirror. But this goes quite nicely. And your speed in a straight line. Whoops. Maybe one gear too low for that left-hander there. Ended up getting a bit of wheel spin on the exit. That's okay. A bit of torque as well, so we can probably use third gear from some of these corners just to minimise that wheel spin. Here we go. Another big stopping point here. We'll go down to second for this one and just try and be a little bit more careful on the exit. That's better. Lots of black lines as we're leaving rubber through that corner. But this car is quite nice to drive. I mean, the GTR cars in Need for Speed as the base content are fun cars anyway, and this is very much along that similar vein of driving feel. Oops, bit of a slide as we got off the curbs there. Monkey says there was an XJ220 kicking around. You don't see any Vauxhall VX220s, but you do see Jaguar XJ220s. Okay, that makes sense. Weird, because we could not see any plough attachment points. Oh man. That would be particularly weird seeing something like that with power takeoffs and tow bars and plough attachments on it. Oops, on the throttle too early there. It's my own fault for running too quickly through that corner. Again, we're not the right gear, second gear out of there, but we'll be careful on the throttle and we can get through there without going sideways, which is good. But yeah, so nice feedback, nice weight through the wheel, good grip, and quite a nice performing car as well. Sounds nice, and yeah, looks pretty spectacular too, so really nice mod, this one. And because we can't really have licensed cars other than the Saab in Live for Speed, it's you know, why not go fictional and make something completely unique, which is what this car is. So yeah, that's really good. Okay, let's do one more, shall we? And find something good to go with here, I think. Okay, I actually want to drive. I don't think we've driven on these streams yet. The Fraud Pre-Runner, which is busy settling on its suspension right there. So we'll go with a nice purple livery on this one. So we have this is based on a Ford pickup truck, which was in the for speed beforehand in the modding side of things, and then someone's taken it and then beefed it up slightly. So we have it's been jacked up on higher suspension. We've got a big V8 under on it, obviously, with the cut-off manifolds there. We have roll cage, spotlights on the top, spare wheel, like a bit of a Baja truck type vibe to it. So we have a couple of yeehaw setups, one even taller than the other, and then rear-wheel drive only. You can see it's sitting down a bit more on the rear, and then a rock rolling special with some big knobbly tyres on it as well. So let's try the Yeehaw 2 setup and just see if we can survive. Let's change our circuit here as well. We'll go to... where should we go? Let's go Fern Bay again. Open that up. We'll start on the Rallycross circuit. Let's see how we get on with this then. The... oh, that sounds properly aggressive. Is this... it is H pattern, okay. And of course, being on very soft suspension, you get a lot of body roll and dive and squats as you get on and off the throttle. Go just turn force through a bit down ever so slightly because it's quite strong. Whoa! Managed to stop the roll that time. It suddenly picks up and goes pretty quick. Let's try not to crash through this little chicane like we did last time. Oops. We'll go this way. We'll get back on the Rallycross circuit as well. So these kind of trucks are quite fun on all surfaces, really, not just the off-road stuff. Oops. That's the beauty of direct drive there. Just hooked a wheel on one of those big curbs and over we went. It's pretty mad though, isn't it? I like how you can just kind of balance it on the throttle a little bit through those corners. I think it's rear-wheel drive only, it's not four-wheel drive, this thing. Uh-oh. Because it's built tough, we can carry on. I'll go this way this time. No. We still managed to roll it. Okay, let's didn't think for a second Phil would tip this. Yeah, no, your confidence is very inspiring, Funky, but yeah. We gotta try it out, haven't we? Gotta try out the roll physics for it. Have I got anything which has a series of jumps? That's the question. Let's try. See if any of these will work. Not that one. What's going on here? Where am I? Okay, let's try this. Ramp cross. Although we are damaged by lots of things. The wheel's pointing in a different direction to where it should be. Let's find another layer that will work better. Oops, no, not the car. Let's try that one. Okay, right, here we go. Let's put it to the test over some jumps. See if we can actually get through. It looks pretty tight. Someone managed to get around there. Right, here we go. This sounds awesome. Okay, first of the jumps coming up here. Oh, no problem. Onto the gravel. See if we can get it through here safely. It's trying to spin it round there. There's not enough room for this great big truck. Yeah, that's good, right. We made it over the jump that time. Had to cross over the other lane. Give it to the right there. We've got another jump coming up. Oh no! And we're rolling. Well, it does handle the jumps quite well when you land it properly, but when you don't quite land it properly, that's when you go over. Oh goodness me! Well, that's fun. I mean, it's a really cool car, or truck, should I say? And it's yeah, nice model and a fun idea, which is what we love about sim racing and Live for Speed. It's all about having a good laugh and having some fun. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed that this evening, guys. Obviously, there's way more mods there than I could possibly review in one evening. So many different cars, vehicles to try, and fun to be had. So, you know, if you've got Live for Speed S3 and you haven't yet tried out some of these mods, go have a look, check them out. Let me know in the comments which ones your favourites are as well, and I'll try and drive them as well on your recommendation, because it's just impossible to drive all of them. There's just too many. But yeah, so I really enjoyed driving that this evening. Hope you enjoyed watching as well. Have some fun laughing at me and my ability to keep things on four wheels. But yeah, so it was good fun. Tim says, thanks for the showcase, Phil. We're still working on the Saab and Lemon suspension in time for the MRC RX, which will start early December. Okay, cool. Yeah, I know you're looking at trying to get the league up and running, so that's cool. No, they're in a good place at the moment, Tim. And I think I really like the Lemon. I think it was really good to drive. The Saab's good fun as well in its own way. But yeah, it's good fun to drive, along with all the other cars we've driven this evening, which has been good fun and some variety as well. So yeah, awesome stuff. Thanks guys for joining us this evening. I hope you've had a laugh at some point this evening. If you have, consider hitting the like button, and if you're new here and this is the first time you've seen us in Racing Bible stream, big welcome to you guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and consider hitting the subscribe button as well if you enjoyed what you've seen, and you can see some more of our mad antics in Need for Speed in the future. But we'll probably be back on AMS2 for some community races very soon. I'm waiting for the release candidate to go fully live so that we can actually all be on the same page, because I know some people will be on the release candidate, some will be on the standard one. So for the sake of kind of connectivity issues and general kind of stability, I think once that goes fully live, we'll do some community races on AMS2, because it's been a while. And hopefully we'll be back on it on Race Room soon with some trucks coming, which I believe will be very soon. But yeah, so we'll be back very soon with some more videos, and there will be a video of the pedals coming up soon as well. So yeah, stay tuned. Thanks for your company as always. It's great to see you guys, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend. But until next time, take care of yourselves, and we will see you very soon. Bye bye for now.